For 2,000 years, the search for Atlantis focused on one place, the ocean floor. Submarines mapped deep aquatic trenches. They found absolutely nothing. Most historians eventually reached a logical conclusion. Atlantis was a myth, an allegory invented by the Greek philosopher Plato. But a growing number of independent researchers are asking a different question. What if we have been looking in the wrong place entirely? When Plato wrote his account in 360 BC, he included something highly unusual. He provided a specific geographical blueprint. He described a city built on concentric rings, 2 rings of land, 3 rings of water. For centuries, this precise layout was dismissed as imagination. Then, satellites began photographing the deepest parts of West Africa. Deep in the barren dunes of Mauritania, they captured a massive anomaly. From the ground, it looks like an endless expanse of fractured rock. But from space, a startling shape emerges. Concentric rings. It is known as the Richat Structure, or the Eye of the Sahara. Supporters of the Atlantis theory immediately noticed the visual resemblance. But rings in nature aren't exactly rare. Could this just be a captivating coincidence? Researchers looked closer at Plato's ancient text. He didn't just describe the rings, he measured them. He wrote that the central city was 127 stadia in diameter. In modern measurements, that is roughly 23.5 kilometers. When researchers measured the outer edge of the Richat structure, the number was intriguing. It measures roughly 23.5 kilometers across. The geographical resemblances seem to be mounting. Plato described mountains to the north and a vast plain to the south. The Eye of the Sahara matches this exact layout. But right as the theory seems plausible, it hits a massive wall. Plato explicitly stated Atlantis was a seafaring empire. The Richat structure is stranded hundreds of miles inland, surrounded by the driest desert on Earth. How could a maritime empire exist in a sea of sand? The investigation seemed dead, until climatologists began studying the history of the region. Just 11,000 years ago, the Sahara was not a desert. It was a vibrant ecosystem known as the Green Sahara. It held massive lakes and deep flowing rivers. But a green desert does not prove a lost city. The timeline of destruction has to match. And this is where the story takes its strangest turn. Plato claimed the city was destroyed in a single cataclysm, roughly 11,600 years ago. For a long time, historians considered that date to be random. But scientists mapping the Earth's ancient ice cores discovered a violent transition. Exactly 11,600 years ago, the Earth experienced the end of the Younger Dryas period. Glaciers melted at an unprecedented rate, and sea levels surged worldwide. Supporters argue this sudden climate chaos could have swept a wall of water across the Green Sahara. But this is where the theory faces intense scientific pushback. Most geologists completely reject the tsunami hypothesis. They argue the Eye of the Sahara is a natural geological dome, eroded by wind over millions of years. Furthermore, archaeologists point out a critical missing piece. There is zero physical evidence of an advanced empire at the site. No ancient bronze, no ruins. The evidence remains fiercely debated. Critics argue that humans are simply wired for pattern recognition. But for those looking at the satellite images, the mystery is incredibly hard to shake. How did an ancient philosopher describe the shape, geography, and dimensions of a geological anomaly hidden in West Africa? Are we looking at the faded echo of a forgotten world? Or just a trick of nature, playing on our desire to find one?